My name is Ria, and I've recently been doing a lot of research into the power of virtual reality and how it has a huge effect in so many different industries, especially in industries such as medicine, entertainment, and even education. Today I'm going to take you through some amazing applications of VR in so many different fields and how VR really has a power to disrupt every single industry on the planet. Now, there are many different types of virtual reality, each of them being as equally explorable, innovative, and interactive. But let's take a look at the two most important types and most commonly known types of virtual reality, non-immersive and immersive. We're going to cover fully immersive VR. Now, fully immersive VR experiences have very specific criteria to make them a revolutionary interface and a completely new computing platform. So first of all, a main requirement is having a richly detailed world that is needed and powered by a computer model or some sort of stimulation. A powerful computer is also required that can actually detect quick movements in real time and adjust the VR experience accordingly. So basically, the computer actually helps to stimulate your senses and kind of adjust the VR experience according to your senses and if you're turning your head or body language and movements. So hardware such as an HMD, which is a head-mounted display with sensory gloves, screens, and stereo sounds that can actually be linked to the computer, are also needed that can fully immerse us into the VR world. Now, there's also another type of VR, which is non-immersive VR. Now, not everyone loves immersive VR that completely takes you a whole new reality. So for those who don't like that, non-immersive VR is a perfect fit. Now, let's talk about the virtual reality equipment that's used. We talked a lot about the intro of virtual reality, the different features of it, and briefly about the applications, but let's actually dive into what makes virtual reality so powerful. So while ordinary computers actually use equipment such as a keyboard, mouse, or different input systems such as speech recognition, virtual reality actually takes a look at sensors to allow users to experience the actual virtual world, and those sensors actually change based on your body movement and how you interact with the environment as well. Ordinary computers use equipment like a keyboard, a mouse, or different input systems such as speech recognition. VR actually uses sensors to adjust the experience based on the movement of your body and how your body reacts to the immersive experience. Or in other words, it actually changes it based on your senses and if you're turning your head or not. So there's actually something called head-mounted displays that are often referred to as HMDs. To achieve the fully immersive VR experience, a head-mounted display is usually needed to construct a 3D image of the virtual world as you're moving your head in real time. So it's basically called head tracking. Now, the two screens seen on an HMD have actually built-in position sensors, which are also called accelerometers, to adjust the image accordingly based on the angle of your body and the orientation. There's so many different companies such as Oculus, Google, Samsung, and Microsoft getting behind a lot of these different head-mounted displays and completely revolutionizing them to provide really good experiences for all their users. Now let's take a look at some of the actual applications of VR in different industries. We've talked a little bit about it in the beginning, but I want to go deeper into it and actually show you the real power of VR and how it can completely revolutionize so many different systems. So let's take a look at education. Now, we all know that our world in the future is completely built on vocational skills and the use of actual life skills rather than just taking notes behind a desk sitting in a classroom. But how does VR play a huge role in stimulating that? One of the greatest benefits of VR being integrated into classroom-based learning is how it actually allows for students to be trained from realistic scenarios, which VR can stimulate. Now, for one of my favorite applications, anything in telemedicine, global health, and how virtual reality can help stimulate that. Virtual reality can open a whole new set of doors for telemedicine, which basically explains the process of monitoring and keeping tabs on patients. Now, telemedicine is usually described as monitoring patients because you can do it over a great distance, so doctors from halfway across the world can actually get in touch with patients that are also in other countries. Now, this is going to completely revolutionize the way that we view anything in global health and actually getting in touch with doctors. Virtual reality can literally create models and interactive immersive experiences for doctors, so they can literally work from home and just put on a VR headset to be able to view patients that are more than halfway across the world. As you can see, there really is no limit to this emerging technology, as VR can and will disrupt the fields of medicine, entertainment, architecture, basically any industry that you can think of, AI and so many different types of technology are already disrupting them. We must learn to coexist with this technology, and it'll definitely open answers for so many things that we've been trying to discover. We can now actually interact with so many different models and really, really cool things rather than just physically watching from the sidelines.